be talking to my best friend Kat, and we're going to be talking all things from career to style and how the way she dresses impacts the way she shows up in the world. So with that, I want to welcome my bestie Kat. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me as your first guest as
Yeah,
well.
this is exciting. So first of all, how are you feeling?
I'm a little bit nervous, if I'm being honest, but I think this is a really nice space.
Yeah.
Very comfortable and relaxed as always when I'm talking to you. So,
And tell the viewers where we are.
we are in Tokyo right now,
Our
in
favorite
Koreatown apparently.
place.
And yeah, it's been like 5 years since I've seen Aggie, so it's amazing to really be able to reunite in a country that means a lot to both of us.
Yeah, there's a lot of history here that we have, but maybe we should tell the viewers kind of how we got to know each other. So how did we meet, actually?
We met in Japanese class, and I don't know, I remember thinking that I always thought you were really cool, but we were trying to hang out during the lecture hall, like sit next to each other, but Aggie or one of us was always late, so it never really happened. And then one day we just caught up and we had ramen, I think, near uni. And then we started like taking photos because we both had that in common, like we quite enjoy that side of creativity, and
That's where the friendship bloomed.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you first about maybe the career side. I think a lot of people will be interested. So what do you do for work? How would you explain it to someone who doesn't know you?
I work in digital marketing and I specialize in search engine optimization. So that basically means helping people find what they're looking for in Google.
And what kind of led you into this career?
It's a really good question because I think a lot of SEOs, like is what we call the professionals in this space, a lot of them kind of fall into it and they don't really, I guess, like graduate uni and they're not like, I'm going to be an SEO after I graduate. But my first job was in travel PR, and that was a really great learning experience. But one thing about PR is you can't really measure results. So even if you place an article in a publication, you can't really see the direct impact of what that publication and article leads to when it comes to an actionable piece of results. So naturally I got a bit curious because in travel PR we were getting lots of coverage, but I couldn't really see how many people actually booked a trip to a certain destination, right? And then with a lot of it, it was also online content as well. So that kind of naturally ties in with SEO because SEO, a lot of it is about optimizing online publications and stories and articles with keywords. So matching up what people are searching for with the piece of content you're creating. And with SEO, you can kind of track results. So you can kind of see how many people came to that particular piece of content, what keywords they used to get there, and what actions they took on your site after reaching that like piece of content and stuff as well. So it kind of like all kind of relates. But essentially travel PR, didn't really love it. It wasn't really my thing. COVID happened and I had to pivot, and I was always naturally curious about measuring things and whether or not like anything actually had an impact. So that was kind of how I fell into SEO.
So curiosity led you to this, to where you are now.
Yeah, I would say so.
And what do you enjoy the most currently about this role?
I would have to say I find it really interesting because a lot of things about SEO is really looking at data first and then using that data insight to see how it can inform your website and the type of content that you put out there. So a lot of it is analyzing people's search behavior and then figuring out how you can best create a piece of content or website where it would give them the best experience possible and give them, I guess, the information that they're looking for. So it's actually quite interesting because it ties in a lot with people's psychology and how they search. And another thing is Google's always changing and updating, and especially with the recent boom of all the news of AI, it's an industry that's going to keep evolving and changing. And I'm personally someone who feels really, I guess, like bored and stagnant if I'm not always learning. So it's a really good space to be in.
I see. So I guess with that comes challenges because you're saying that it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the biggest challenge in this kind of job, or what do you see as not a challenge, as something exciting?
A bit of both, if I'm being honest. The thing with SEO is there's no one way to do something. So if there's a problem, there's multiple solutions, and everyone has their own different way to, I guess, like address an issue. And because of that, it's a bit like there's a lot you can't control as well. So I think that's the challenging part, where you can only, I guess, do your best, and then whether or not Google kind of picks up on your recommendations is out of your control. So it's a bit about like testing the waters and seeing how that works, and then optimizing based off the results of that test.
So would you say that's kind of the biggest takeaway you learned from what you've been doing so far? Or is that, what's kind of the biggest lesson you've learned through
working in this industry? I would say so, because I think like with a lot of things, it's kind of like almost like a life lesson in a way. Aggie, you would know that it's something I'm working on personally in many aspects of my life, is like just knowing that sometimes all you can do in any situation is more than enough, and then a lot of things are outside your control. So kind of like letting go of that aspect a bit, and then surrendering, trusting the process, and kind of just seeing where it takes you.
Okay, I'm interested to know if there's any common myths about your job, kind of. Are there any myths people talk about?
I think a lot of people, when they hear of it or they might have heard about SEO, they think it's really, really technical and super codey, which is kind of like one element of it. But as an SEO, my role is more about providing recommendations, and I work with developers. So it's not as if like I don't really have to build a website, but it's more like I can provide recommendations to developers to what they do. So yeah, so I'm like the person, I guess, like linking like the SEO who is briefing developers as to what to do. So you don't really need to know how to build a website, but you need to have like a basic understanding of some coding language. So a lot of people think that it's really code heavy, which it kind of isn't. So much so, like you don't need to be a developer, and also you don't really need to, I guess, like study anything related to it at university. And I'm actually not sure if they actually even teach it at uni at the moment, actually. Just because, like, for some context, I didn't study marketing at all at uni. It was more so about, I guess, how I got the job was initially like being able to look at the website and being curious and figuring it out as I go.
Yeah, that was really, from the beginning, that's how she was. Just, even though it was stressful in the beginning, but if you look at it with a curious mindset, then anything can be like a good learning experience.
Yeah, exactly. And it's always about the process and the journey.
Yay! Well, so I mean, if someone's interested in what you're doing right now, what kind of advice would you give them to get started in this career?
I would say stay curious. There's lots of resources out there. So just hop online onto Google. There's lots of industry leading blogs. Like,
any courses you recommend that you took?
I haven't really taken any courses. I would say the blogs are really helpful. So from in the SEO world, there's like SEMrush, Ahrefs, Search Engine Journal. All of these blogs, they have really in-depth guides as to everything you can learn about SEO, from like the basics to the current trends. So all the information's out there. I guess it's more about like carving out time to try and learn it yourself. And I would always say to really get into the trenches of it, build your own website, and basically learn through doing, because I think that's the best way to learn in this space. And I guess when it comes to what people are wearing in my field, so currently I'm doing digital marketing for fashion brands in Australia, and
everyone's like super fashionable, which is really, really cool to be in that like environment where people are expressing themselves so freely through clothing. Everyone at work, they have their kind of unique style,
Personal
style in many ways. And recently in Australia, it was very like hot. It was like summer, and there was lots of like printed clothing that were really fun, and it was giving like beachy vibes in the office, which was really exciting. And lots of like long dresses as well. So it's really fun to be able to see what people wear to work every day as well, because some people at work, they're just so stylish, and it's almost like
a conversation starter.
Yeah, it's always a conversation starter, and it's like almost working in like a fashion show in a way, where sometimes it's really just exciting to see what some people wear.
And I feel like that really reflects the company culture too, right? Everybody can express themselves, and it's creative, which is what you have to be kind of creative at your work too, right? That's really cool. And what about for you, going back to your own personal style? How does the way you dress impact the way you show up at work, you think?
So I think the way that I dress kind of, in a way, allows me to be professional. So for example, if I have a client meeting, I'll chuck on a blazer. And even if I have sneakers on, it still kind of looks put together. So it's that mix and balance of
friendliness, like still down to earth with the sneakers, but put together.
Yeah, with that hint of kind of elevated basics kind of look. And usually I like to keep my jewelry kind of simple. I'm obsessed with hoops, so I have many different variations of that. But yeah, I think it really helps like pull an outfit together. So it just makes me also feel more, in a way, like put together, which makes me feel more empowered, which makes me feel like I can be in a more serious mode to do my work.
Moving on to kind of your future goals and plans, do you have anything in mind for the next year? And how are you planning to, show up through your clothes to embody that version of you?
I have a really exciting challenge coming up, so I'll be going to Bali to do my yoga and meditation teacher training, and for that purpose I bought myself a new set of yoga clothes from this really cool Australian eco-friendly yoga clothing brand. And for some reason I keep seeing like the vision of lighter color clothing, so I'm someone who holds a lot of, I guess, like memory with the clothing that I do wear, and it's, in a way, it's a good bad thing, because it means that it's hard for me to throw things out and let go of things. But I really associate like the piece of clothing with the places I've been and the things that I've done with it. So
nice.
To me, that set that I just bought recently, I'm obviously going to be wearing it most of the time when I'm doing my teacher training course. So.
And it puts you into that mood that you're going to exercise and be doing that activity, right? Could you kind of describe it for us? What color is it?
Yeah, it's like this kind of like my pants. It's like a pearl light color, and it's really cool because with the top you can wear it like a halter top, and then you can play around with the straps, so you can have it like cross neck as well. So there's lots of different ways you can style that top. And I think the company Indigo Luna, they're very like creative with the way that they design things, so one top's made to be worn many different ways,
very
which
versatile.
keeps it fun.
And I feel like this is really one of your key colors that you have in your wardrobe, right? This cream.
Yeah, except it's kind of hard because Aggie knows that I'm always really ochokochoi and clumsy. So
clumsy in Japanese.
I'm always like staining it. So I feel like if you look closely,
it helps you to be focused, right, in the present, because you don't want to get it stained.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to, but
I see. That's so exciting. She's got a lot coming up. I'm so proud of her, and I just can't wait to see it and just show up as that girl with the outfit and just ready to tackle on what you want to do. Well, where can listeners connect with you if you want to find you? Where is the best place?
So I am actually on TikTok and Instagram.
Just pop in on TikTok.
No, it's a learning process. My handle is mindfulness with Katriona, and my intention behind those platforms is to create content that really helps people connect with themselves on a deeper level. So I'll be sharing things that I learned across my teacher training on both of those platforms about everything mindfulness, meditation, and self-awareness.
Love it. So if you're all into that, go check her out. And there you have it. So thank you so much, Kat, for coming and being my first guest.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know by clicking the thumbs up or writing a comment. Let me know what kind of content you'd like to see next, if you enjoy it. And until next time, so thank you so much.
Bye. Let's cut it.
Cut it. Cut it.
気をつけて。